Quiet, numbskulls. I'm broadcasting.
All right, let's take it from the top again. Places. Action.
Well, let's see. We have on the bags, we have who's on first, what's on second, I don't know is on third.
That's what I want to find out.
I say who's on first, what's on second, I don't know is on third.
Are you the manager?
Yes.
You going to be the coach, too?
Yes.
And you know the fellow's name?
Well, I should.
Well, then who's on first?
Yes.
I mean the fellow's name.
Who?
The guy on first.
Who?
The first baseman.
Who?
The guy playing first.
Who is on first?
I'm asking you who's on first.
That's the man's name.
That's whose name?
Yes.
Well, go ahead and tell me.
That's it.
That's who?
Yes.
Join us for another voyage back in time on Classic Radio Rewind. Without any further ado, here's your host, Barry Slinker.
Thank you, Dex Rowe, for that introduction, and welcome back to another episode of Classic Radio Rewind. I'm Barry Slinker, and this week, we've got an incredible lineup of old-time radio shows that are sure to entertain you. We'll be diving into the Adventures of Red Ryder from 1946, followed by The Mysterious Traveler from 1950, and The Danny Kaye Show from 1945. But to kick things off, let's start with a thrilling episode from X-1. This episode, titled Almost Human, which originally aired on August 11th, 1955, tells the tale of a criminal that steals a newly built android from its creator and uses it to help him commit robberies. Let's listen in X-1 and Almost Human and see how this story unfolds. It's Classic Radio Rewind Episode 50, brought to you by the WOTR Radio Network.
Countdown for blast off. X-5, 4, 3, 2, X-1, fire. From the far horizons of the unknown come transcribed tales of new dimensions in time and space. These are stories of the future, adventures in which you'll live in a million could-be years on 1,000 maybe worlds.
X minus 1.
Tonight's story, Almost Human, by Robert Bloch. Have you heard of the new science called cybernetics? It concerns man's efforts to develop a perfect thinking machine, a robot electronic brain that will not only do man's work, but even do his thinking for him. A robot that is almost human.
It's not impossible at all. In fact, one day, something like this may happen. A tall, suave gentleman in a black raincoat will walk down the street until he reaches a shuttered, isolated house. And then he will slowly mount the front steps, push the doorbell.
Just a minute. I said just a minute. Hold your horses. What do you think you'd...
Good evening, my dear.
Duke, why did you come here?
Curiosity, darling. I've been thinking over what you told me at our chance meeting last week.
Duke, you promised me.
I decided to come and take a look for myself. Where is the professor?
In his study.
Where's Junior?
In the nursery.
The nursery? How quaint. And you, I take it, are Junior's nursemaid?
I help the professor.
Tell me as a guest.
Duke, he's a nice old guy. Don't
Tell
do
him,
it.
darling.
All right.
Yes? What is it, Miss Williams?
Professor Blastman, a gentleman...
Here? I don't understand. I gave orders no one was to be admitted to the house.
He insisted.
Very well. Wait here. I'll get rid of him. Sir?
Professor Blesserman, I've come to see Junior.
Junior? There must be some mistake. There are no children in this house. I don't...
Professor, what you feel pressing against your belly is the muzzle of a .45 caliber pistol. Now, shall we visit Junior?
How... What do you know about...
I know everything. Shall we go inside?
I warn you.
On the contrary, I warn you.
Very well. This way. This is the nursery.
Where is Junior?
In the next room. Behind the door with a panel in it.
Very considerately furnished. Mother Goose figures on the walls. Blackboard, toy blocks. Panda. Bunny rabbit doll. Touching. All right, let's see him.
You can look through the panel.
Mary had a little lamb.
Oh, wow.
Whose fleece
Who'd have believed
was
it?
white as
Junior isn't very pretty, is he?
I was not concerned with aesthetics.
Why do you hide him? Is he dangerous?
The world is not yet ready for such a thing. Besides, I must study. As you can see by his play, he is very young, hardly out of the cradle. I am educating him.
With nursery rhymes?
The brain is undeveloped. It must learn its behavior patterns like any infant.
You call that 8-foot monster an infant?
Physically, of course, he'll never change. He is built of chrome steel and glass. But his brain, that is my wonderful instrument. Unlike a human, he has no heritage, no basic instincts such as love or hate. These he has yet to learn. In some respects, he is like a blank tablet. What is written upon the tablet will remain.
You mean he has no feelings?
He will learn quickly. And now, if your curiosity is satisfied, I trust you will keep my secret. If anyone discovers...
Open the door.
I beg your pardon.
The door, Professor.
Very well. Junior, come here.
What a monster.
Papa.
He talks?
Yes. Mentally, he's about 6 years old now. What is it, son?
Who is that man, Papa?
Let me handle this. You may call me Duke, son. I've come to see you.
That's nice. Nobody ever comes to see me except Lola. Play with me, Duke.
Certainly, Junior. Oh, and Professor.
Yes?
While we're playing, you can have Lola and Miss Williams prepare my room.
Your room?
I forgot to tell you, I've decided to stay until the climate changes and I can go out again. Meanwhile, I'll have a chance to play blocks with Junior. Understand?
I begin to understand. You are hiding from the law.
As you wish. All right, Junior. Your move.
Let's build a bridge.
I have a better idea, Junior.
What?
Let's build a coffin.
A coffin? I don't know that word.
Then I'll teach you, Junior. I can see the professor has been neglecting the moral side of your education. Very sadly.
You shouldn't have come here, Duke.
Why not, my dear? Afraid of me?
No, I'm afraid of myself. You're no good for me. You've always brought me trouble.
Except this time. This time it will be different, darling. This time I'll bring you diamonds.
Duke, what have you been teaching that thing?
Nothing, honey. I've just been playing with them. Very educational.
I don't believe you.
What's bothering you, Lola?
Today when I walked in there, he said to me, I know how to kill people, Lola. I'll kill you if you want me to.
He's learning very quickly.
Duke, I'm scared of that thing. It's unholy, a machine that acts like a human with that voice grinding after saying things you'd expect from a child.
You dislike him so much. Why did you take this job as his nursemaid?
Because I wanted to start over again. I answered an ad. The professor didn't ask questions. I would have been all right, too, if you hadn't come along.
I'm very glad you did tell me, darling. Because Junior is going to make us two very successful people.
Ha.
Like any child, Junior listens to what he's told.
Duke, I don't know what you're teaching, Junior. But I can guess. And it isn't right. It's evil.
Now, write on the blackboard, Junior. My name is Junior.
My name is Junior.
People are evil.
People are evil.
Evil must be destroyed.
Evil must be destroyed.
The professor is evil.
The professor is evil.
The professor must...
What are you doing?
I warned you to keep out of the nursery, Professor.
Go away.
You don't even remember me.
I know you. You are the professor. You want to keep me as your slave. You didn't tell me that people are evil.
People are not evil.
People are evil. They must be destroyed.
Stop it!
I am not a child any longer.
No, you're not a child. You're a monster.
Junior?
Yes, Duke.
The time is now, Junior.
Yes, Duke.
Keep away from me. Junior! Junior, don't do it! Listen to me! Junior, listen to me! Ah!
I did it, Duke.
Duke, I heard... Oh, horrible.
Can we go away now, Duke? I don't like it here anymore.
Duke, why did you do it?
The professor was in the way. We'll have to move very quickly now, Lola.
We?
Because if you don't plan to come along, just say so. I can have Junior write your name on his blackboard.
Where are we going?
We'll go to Charlie's.
With Junior?
With Junior.
Oh, Duke, you can't. I'm afraid.
Relax, my dear. The Duke has great plans for you two. Wouldn't you like to be independently wealthy for the rest of your life? No cares, no worries. Just good times and fine clothes all the time.
The only way you get that way is by inheriting $1 million.
Not when you have a fella like Junior around.
I'm still afraid of him.
Junior wouldn't hurt you. You wouldn't hurt Lola, would you, Junior?
I like Lola. She's pretty.
There, you see? He thinks you're pretty. Junior's growing up. Sit down, Charlie.
Sure, Duke.
Lola and I are going to hide out here for a while. We'll need some help.
Listen, Duke, I'm trying to keep the cops away.
Sure. Now listen to me. I need a casing job done.
Oh. Sure, Duke.
You know the armored truck service?
Sure.
I want to know when they take the Acme deposits from Boston to Worcester.
Duke, you ain't thinking of a payroll truck, are you? They got cannons on those trucks. They travel in pairs. You couldn't get near one.
I asked you to do a casing job, Charlie.
Sure, Duke. Anything you say.
Find out what time they passed the narrowest and most deserted stretch of road.
Well, if you're going to pull a job like that, you'll need 50 men. You want me to get some of the boys?
I won't need anybody. I've got somebody.
Where?
He's out in the car.
Oh, what's his name, Duke? Anybody I know?
His name is Junior.
Junior? I don't know any Junior.
You will, Charlie. You will.
Sam?
Well, thanks, Al. Whew, it sure gets hot in these armored trucks, huh?
You'll get used to it.
How much we hauling this time?
About $250,000.
Brother, could I use a hunk of that?
Who couldn't?
What's the first stop?
Acme National Bank. Then we unload a payroll at the Bronson Watch plant. Hey, what's that up ahead?
It looks like something shiny on the road.
Drop your spotlight.
Right. Holy smokes, you see what I see? It looks like a mechanical traffic cop.
About 8 feet tall.
Standing right in the middle of the highway. Maybe it's a Halloween gang, huh? Guess they're trying out robot traffic cops. Can you get past him?
I don't know. We'll have to slow down. Get on that gun, Sam. Let's take no chances.
Right.
I'll give it the horn.
Don't budge.
Where's our escort truck?
Pulled up right behind us.
Thing won't move.
Sure looks like something out of Buck Rogers, don't it?
That's a heck of a note, blocking traffic like that. We'll have to try and get past it. Here goes.
Holy smokes, it's moving. Hell, it's coming toward us.
Get on that gun. Give it a blast.
Bullets are bouncing right off it. It's still coming. Al, back up.
I can't. The other truck's right behind us.
Al, it's lifting its arm. It's going to smash our window.
Jeez. If I hadn't have seen it with my own eyes. Duke, we gotta quit this.
What's the matter, Charlie? Getting shaky?
The papers say he killed all 4 drivers. Listen, Duke, that robot is hot. We gotta get rid of it.
Stop your blubbering. One more good robbery.
You ain't gonna pull another one.
Why not?
Count me out, Duke. The law's gonna track that baby.
Are you quite finished, Charlie?
You got no heart, Duke. You're like Junior, all steel inside.
And you're just a big, warm-hearted slob. I suppose flowing with the milk of human kindness.
Well, I got nerves. I can't stand that thing, the way it looks at you with that iron face and clanking around all the time. Listen, here it comes.
Hello, Junior.
Hello, Duke.
I've been talking to Charlie.
Yes, Duke.
You know what I think, Junior? I think Charlie's yellow. You know what happens to people who turn yellow, don't you?
Yes, Duke.
Tell him.
They're evil. We have to destroy them.
Huh? You see, Charlie? Junior doesn't like people who sing to the police.
Duke, wait a minute. You know I'd never turned stoolie or anything like that. I never sang to the coppers in my life. You can count
Junior.
on me. I don't want no trouble with you.
Stop him.
I wouldn't...
Yes, Duke. I stopped him, Duke.
All right. Take him down to the cellar.
Duke, that noise. Charlie! Junior, put him down.
Take him down to the cellar, Junior.
Yes, Duke.
Duke.
Relax, darling. Stop shaking.
Duke, we can't stay here. Charlie's going to be missed. He's got friends. Now we'll have the gangs after us, too.
Oh, come on now. Don't worry, darling. The Duke will take care of everything.
Where are you going?
Out to a travel agency to get some tickets. You and I are going to take a trip, Lola.
You're leaving me alone here?
Junior's here, too.
That's just it. Being alone with that thing. Duke, I got the jitters.
Now, don't you worry. In 48 hours, you and I will be on our way to Switzerland with $500,000 worth of loot.
What about Junior?
Junior will be taken care of.
How can you get rid of him?
Junior will do anything I say. So I'll merely have him get into the furnace and sit there while I fill it with oil and set fire to it. Too bad the professor couldn't have stayed around to see him growing up. He's almost a man now, Junior is. But not quite as clever as a man. You'll find that out after he steps into the furnace.
Get rid of Junior now, Duke. Before you leave.
There's no time. I'll be back about 8.
Duke, please.
And be nice to Junior while I'm gone. Don't show him you're afraid of him. Goodbye, darling.
Goodbye, Duke.
Lola,
What, Junior?
oil me.
Can't you wait till Duke gets back? He always oils you.
I want you to oil me, Lola.
All right.
I like you to oil me, Lola.
Yes, Junior.
Lola, do you like Duke?
Certainly.
Do you like me?
Well, you know I do, Junior.
Lola,
What?
who do you like best? Me or Duke?
I like you both, Junior.
Yes, but who do you love?
What do you know about love, Junior?
In the books, man and woman love.
No.
Lola,
What?
do you think anyone will ever love me?
Maybe. Some women can fall in love with anything, Junior. Even with something like Duke.
Why, Lola?
I don't know. Maybe because, well, as long as she thinks her man is the smartest and the strongest.
I see.
Where are you going?
To wait for Duke.
He won't be home for a while.
I'll sit in the hall and wait for him.
All right, Junior.
I want to be alone and think.
About what?
I read in a book today it was bad to kill people. What does that mean? Bad.
Bad. I don't know, Junior. I guess it's just a word.
Lola?
Hello, Duke.
Oh, it's you, Junior. Why are you sitting in the dark?
I was waiting for you, Duke.
Well, now that's a good boy, Junior.
Lola oiled me.
That's nice. I tell you what, Junior. I've got a little job for us down in the cellar. Let's go down there.
Now, Duke.
Right now, Junior.
All right, Duke. Are we going away soon, Duke?
Yes, Junior. We're going away.
What's in the cellar, Duke?
A little surprise for you, Junior. You'll find out.
For the latest news. And now, a brief interlude of recorded dance music.
Duke? Is that you, Duke? Junior.
Hello, Lola.
I thought I heard Duke come in.
He came in.
Where is he?
Down in the cellar.
What's he doing?
Nothing.
Did he say he'd be up soon?
No.
Maybe you better go down and get him.
He's dead.
Oh, no. No, he isn't dead.
You said the woman loves the strongest and the smartest. Well, I'm stronger and smarter.
But you aren't human.
I'm almost human, Lola.
No. No, stay away.
Lola.
Don't touch me. Those metal paws. No.
I love you, Lola.
No. No.
I love
no,
you.
No. No.
I love you.
No.
thing she heard was the robot's harsh voice, droning it over and over again.
I love you. I love you. I love you.
And strangely enough, it did sound almost human.
Tonight, by transcription, X-1 has brought you Almost Human, a story by Robert Bloch, adapted for radio by George Lefferts. Featured in the cast were Santos Ortega as Duke, Joan Allison as Lola, Jackie Grimes as Junior, Guy Rep as the Professor, Nat Pollin as Charlie, Joseph Julian as Al, Lynn Cook as Sam, and Merrill Joels as the radio voice. Your announcer, Fred Collins.
You've just listened to X-1 titled Almost Human, originally aired on August 11th, 1955. Up next, we have The Adventures of Red Ryder, titled $40,000 in Gold, originally aired on December 28, 1946. In this episode, Red Ryder and his trusty horse, Little Beaver, set out to recover $40,000 in stolen gold hidden somewhere on Ghost Mountain. Let's head out to the Wild West with The Red Ryder on Classic Radio Rewind.
Langendorf bread, finer, fresher, tastier. Langendorf bread, America's finest, presents The Adventures of Red Ryder. From out of the West comes America's famous fighting cowboy.
Rowdy, Dunham, this storm. I'm freezing. I can't go a step further.
You can't, eh? And you hear that? Them wolves stopped here and they'll get you sure as you're still breathing. Come on, Dunham, leave the fool alone. Maybe the wolves are gonna get him, but that ain't no reason for us to freeze to death.
There are thrills and chills galore in tonight's Red Ryder adventure, as you probably already guessed from our little preview. But before turning back the cover on Treacherous is the Wolf, tonight's Western classic adventure yarn, I'd like to mention another classic. A different kind of classic, boasting 52 years of popularity. And that's Langendorf bread. Fresh, flavorful Langendorf bread. Practically a tradition for thousands of people who enjoy it with every meal. Yes, for over 50 years, the bakers of Langendorf bread have been perfecting the loaf that's finer, fresher, and tastier from the first to the very last slice. They've discovered just which top-quality ingredients give Langendorf bread the most flavor, which baking method makes it lighter in texture and keeps it fresher longer. Above all, they've found out how to perfect Langendorf bread for not just one, but all bread time uses. Plain, toasted, with any spread, and in sandwiches. So enjoy this fine tradition in fine eating. The classic bread so popular with thousands, Langendorf bread. Finer, fresher, tastier Langendorf bread. America's finest. As a young man and an ailing one, Theodore Roosevelt's physician sent him out west to regain his health, because with all of its history of trouble, death, and destruction, the West also enjoyed a reputation as nature's playground, the great outdoors. But from the fiery wastes of Death Valley to the freezing crags of the grisly Rockies, there was a wide variety in the climate. And as tonight's story of the West that lives forever commences, we find Red Ryder, Buckskin, and Little Beaver discussing just this subject.
Tadpole to titmouses, Red. It's a blowing up the cold. The cook had to pour hot water on me to get me out of the saddle.
Yeah?
Yeah, plumb frizz right on the scissor bill.
You know the old saying, you can't fool a horsefly.
Huh?
But you don't think it's really cold, do you?
Me plenty cold.
Oh, sure, little beaver. You're still wearing your summer feather.
And that there ain't nothing to josh about, Red. It's so cold my duck bumps has got duck bumps of their own.
What be 'em duck bumps, Red Ryder?
Oh, just an old fogey's way of saying goose pimples. Oh, of course, judging by buckskin, you'd think it was really cold out.
And I ain't a saying it's the coldest I ever been, but it's sure downright chilly. It remembers me of one time up in Montana. Now, there was a cold winter. I've frozen so many places when I sit down, I was still standing up.
That's nothing, buckskin. A few years back, it was so cold here that when I came in from outside, my watch was blowing on its hands.
Oh, you call that cold?
Yeah.
Why, one winter up in Dakota, I got so cold I had to walk downstairs backwards.
Why?
My sheepskin coat had turned its tail inside.
You know, yarning like this is confusing, little beaver. Look at him stare at us.
Me get 'em laugh, Red Ryder.
Yeah.
Oh, say, yeah, just one more and then I'm through.
All right.
Back in '79, I was working on a spread in Colorado, and it was so cold, it cost me my job.
So cold it cost you your job. Well, how come?
Well, I thought it was a cow out in the storm I was milking, but dadgummit, you know what?
What?
The cow turned out to be a horse with icicles.
Oh.
That's a good one.
Oh, that stops me, old-timer. You know, joshing aside, I think it is going to be a cold winter. So just to make sure, how about riding into town getting some real warm clothes, huh?
Me ready.
Now you're making sense, Red. Little Beaver and me will go out and saddle up the horses. Blizzards and blue bumps. But it sure is cold.
It isn't what you'd call spring weather.
Bet you I'm plenty cold up on Ghost Mountain right now.
You don't have to worry, son. While you're wearing a suit of long underwear with your feather, you don't want to go any place where folks are going to see you anyway.
Hey, Red, ain't that there a wagon a-coming towards us?
Oh, it sure is. Covered wagon. Looks like it might be some new settlers coming in.
And they see 'em us, too. See 'em, they wave 'em at us. Guess they want 'em ask 'em his question.
Well, I hope they're not long-winded. Sit out here a minute without moving, and we'll all be froze like statues. Go, Sizzlebill. Now, slow down now.
Oh, thunder. Oh, boy. Howdy, folks.
Pardon us, folks, but could you tell us if we're going in the right direction to get to Ghost Mountain?
Yes, you are, but if you want a little free advice, I'd advise you staying off that mountain till this blizzard's over.
Blizzard? What blizzard?
The one that's blowing up right now. Feels like it's going to be worse than the one we had 3 years ago. And that snowed in Ghost Mountain for almost 6 weeks.
You see, what did I tell you? We better go back to Devil's Hole and wait until the weather's more favorable.
Go back to Devil's Hole? You loco. We ain't come this far to turn back now.
I don't know what your business is up on Ghost Mountain, but it can't be important enough to risk being frozen to death.
Maybe we better listen to the redhead, Prouty. This is his home country. He ought to know what he's talking about.
Yeah? You don't sound as if you know what you're talking about if you think I'm going to turn back. Thanks, mister, and thanks for your advice. Get up, get along.
Well, what in the world do you think is so important up on Ghost Mountain that them there three jaspers are willing to risk being frozen to a snowman?
I don't know, Buckskin, but I don't like the way that one talked, the one that was driving the team.
Him had 'em eyes like weasel.
Well, son, it's a cinch that if we stand here flapping our jaws about 3 complete strangers, we're going to end up just as frozen as we said they'd be. So let's get the warm clothes we're after and worry about them later, huh?
Oh, you said it, Red. Come on, Sizzlebill. Let's get 'em moving.
I said, whoa, stop.
Well, Prouty, what are you going to do now?
What do you think I'm going to do? Getting dark in it. We can't drive this team all night. Besides, according to the map we got, we can't be too far away from that shack we're looking for.
Well, just the same, Prouty, I still think we ought to take that redhead's advice and turn back before it starts to snow. All the gold bullion in the world ain't worth nothing to a fella if he's froze to death.
Now, you listen to me, Dunham. You too, Baker.
Ain't turning back, no matter how much you talk.
Yeah, but like Dunham just said, what good'll this gold do us if we don't live to spend it?
We'll live to spend it, all right.
I suppose you think that redhead warned us about this snow just to hear himself talk.
No, I don't, but
Hey, great jumping Jehoshaphat, what's that noise? Sounds human.
Timber wolf, that's what it was. Yes, sir. I just heard another one off to the right of us. Prouty, I tell you, I'm getting worried.
Wolves. They ain't no more wolves than we are.
What's gotten through you anyhow, Prouty? I guess I know a timber wolf when I hear one.
Yeah, Dunham. I guess I do, too. And them shrieks ain't being made by no wolves. It's humans, that's what it is. Humans shrieking like wolves, trying to scare us out of here.
Scare us out of here? Now what in the world for?
I suppose they can find 40,000 and gold bullion every day in the week.
Now you ain't making no sense at all, Prouty. Oh, it turns my blood cold faster than this wind.
Now look here, Prouty.
Now, suppose you listen to me, both of you. You know as well as I do, those 3 men who robbed Wells Fargo with that gold shipment did it 9 years ago. You don't suppose it's going to lie around forever, do you?
Well, that's right. But we got the map from the one who died, showing where they hid the bullion up there in the shack on Ghost Mountain.
And that still don't mean we ain't surrounded by a lot of timber wolves.
Hey, you jugheads. Yeah, the 2 told someone else where the gold was hidden before they were killed. Suppose someone wandering around this mountain found the shack himself. You still think they'd want us up here? No, sir. I'm getting out my rifle and shooting the head off the first Jasper who crosses my sights.
Oh, Peppers, oh boy.
Oh, Citadel. Oh.
Little Beaver, help Buckskin inside with the packages, will you?
Hey, wait a minute. Where are you going, Red?
Oh, while there's still some daylight, Buckskin, I'm going to turn around and go on back up on Ghost Mountain. Those 3 gents we let go up there earlier in the day have been giving my conscience an awful bad time.
Ooh, they're down to earmuffs, Red. It'll be snow in a half hour. If you get caught up on Ghost Mountain alone, you'll be worse off than them.
Oh, just the same, I haven't got the heart to let those 3 old duffers go wandering around the blizzard without at least trying to help.
If you go in there, Red Ryder, me going with you.
Oh, no, you won't, son. No matter how hard it snows, it isn't going to be enough to keep you from going to school, so you're going indoors right now and start in with your studies.
Well, I don't have to go to no school. I'll ride up on Ghost Mountain with you, Red.
Maybe it'd be a lot better for all of us if you did have to go to school, Buckskin.
Why, arithmetic to reading and writing. Hey, that's how I lost most of my hair. Having so much education inside of my head, the hair roots couldn't grow none.
All right, if you're coming, Buckskin, go on. Get back in that saddle and let's roll.
All right. Easy, Isabel. Now, if I freeze to death, Red Ryder, I'll come back and haunt you for the rest of my life.
Now, you do just that, Buckskin. In this kind of weather, an extra sheet will be very welcome. All right, fella. Up that mountain. Come on, thunder.
Prouty, what in the name of all get-out are you doing? Here, give me that rifle.
Shut up, you fool. Almost had one of them.
Between them wolves and this cold, I'd just as soon be dead.
Yeah, well, you will be if one of them buzzards who are trying to drive us off the mountain gets close enough to throw some lead.
You mean to say you still believe that them ain't timber wolves?
You're doggone right. When it's all over, we're going to end up getting that bullion. Look.
Where? Well, what do you see, Prouty?
By golly, maybe Prouty's right. I see it, too. Them ain't no wolves. They're 2 men riding horses closing in on us. Here, give me my rifle.
You aim for the one on the right. I'm taking a bead on the other polecat.
No! Oh, for the love of Pete. That shot smashed my rifle to bits.
Baker, get that 6-gun out of your holster.
Hold on there. Put those guns down. We're not even to hurt you.
Hey, Prouty, hold on a minute. That voice sounds familiar.
Sure, it's familiar. That same redhead we met this afternoon. I'll take good care of him this time.
You jug-headed idiot. Put down that there
Oh, thunder.
Oh, steady, Bill. Oh.
I doggone it if I got to take that rifle away from you and wrap it around your neck. No, confound you, let go of it. Well, this is a fine lot of appreciation.
I'll say it's a fine lot of appreciation. Come up here to see if they ain't throw us to death, and they practically burn us down with lead.
Well, you see, friend, them timber wolves have got us pretty much on edge.
Timber wolves, my eye. Told you before, them's two-legged wolves.
Are you loco? Those certainly are timber wolves. They've been driven down from the top of the mountain by the storm. They know there won't be anything to eat up there for weeks to come.
Yes, sirree. And if you keep on hanging around here, them there wolves will end up by eating you.
Well, if you're all through, we'll appreciate you going back the way you come from and trying to scare each other. Why we're up here and why we're staying is our business. And we're making mighty sure you don't stick your noses into it. Is that clear?
Come on, Buckskin. From the way he talks, it's hard to tell just who the wolves really are prowling Ghost Mountain.
Well, there's certainly plenty of trouble brewing on Ghost Mountain with the blizzard and the starving timber wolves. But where there's $40,000 in gold bullion at stake, there's bound to be a different kind of trouble, I have a feeling. And we'll be hearing it at first hand just as soon as we return to tonight's Red Ryder story. Medical and nutritional authorities will tell you that vitamin B1 is not stored up in the human system and therefore must be replenished daily. So we suggest Dr. Penland's vitamin B1 wheat bread with 1,100 units of B1 in every loaf. Dr. Penland's vitamin B1 wheat bread not only replenishes, but gives you your full daily supply of B1. That is, 2 slices 3 times a day provide as many units of B1 as most adults need. Then, too, Dr. Penland's vitamin B1 wheat bread has a sunny, wholesome goodness you'll relish. A wheaty flavor delicately sweetened by malt and honey. Now, if you're on a reducing diet, remember, vitamins are lost when you eat less. Help make them up by eating Dr. Penland's vitamin B1 wheat bread. With 1,100 units of energy vitamin B1 in each loaf, it's ideal. And now it's back to tonight's story and back to Ghost Mountain. It's late the following day, and Prouty, Dunham, and Baker have been wandering around through a blinding blizzard, desperately trying to find the shack where they believe the $40,000 in gold bullion is hidden. As we join them now, they are barely able to move.
Prouty, I don't believe I can go any further.
Me too.
Maybe I was wrong. But we're trapped in this snow now, and... Wait a minute. Do I see something, or am I going snowblind?
No, Prouty. I see it, too. It's a shack. It's the cabin we've been looking for.
Oh, brother. Another 5 minutes, and I wouldn't have cared if we'd found it or not. Come on.
Come on, Baker.
I'm a-coming. I'm a-coming.
Come on in, Prouty. Well, it's nothing but Providence. That's what it is. Providence.
Now, if I can just find a match.
I got one someplace. Here, wait a minute. There now.
Say, this ain't bad. Ain't bad at all. We can bust up that broken down table and chair and get a fire started. Here, give me another match.
Yeah, all right. Yeah.
I'll light this lamp. Yeah, there we are. Yeah, this is more like it.
Lordy, when you hear them timber wolves, you can get down on your knees and give thanks that you're inside, eh, Baker? I says, hey, Baker. Hey, Prouty, Baker's not here.
Well, he must be. He was with us when we saw the cabin?
He was right behind me.
Oh, maybe he slipped on the trail.
Well, I'd better go see.
Huh? Well, you see anything, Dunham?
Yeah. I see something, all right.
What do you mean?
There's nothing out there now, Prouty. Nothing but the tracks of a timber wolf.
Wolves? Baker?
We better bust up this table and chair, Prouty. We better get a fire going.
Yeah. We better get a fire going. Fast. Oh, well, it's nice around this fireplace, but we should turn in.
Oh, shuckings, Red. Even with 4 blankets and 2 of them there Southern comforts on my bed, won't be half as warm as round by the fire here.
We should complain. Think of those 3 men up on that mountain.
Oh, goose pimples, the gorgeous growing watches, Red. You worry too much.
Well, can't help it. I've got a little conscience left, and the first thing in the morning, I'm saddling up and riding back up there.
But dagnab your ding-dong stubbornness, you pink-haired varmint, you already tried to help 'em. And like they got perforated for all your trouble.
I may even get perforated proper this time, Buckskin. But when the sun comes up tomorrow morning, I'm going to be aboard Thunder and riding.
Ooh, clinkers to coal mines, Red. We can't be more than a half a mile away from the North Pole.
Maybe you're right, Buckskin. The way you're bundled up, you look like a great big piece of whale blubber anyhow.
Look who's a-laughing, will you? If little Beaver don't look like an Eskimo, I'll eat a ton of cattle towler and...
Hold it.
Whoa, Sibyl.
So, what's the matter, Red Ryder? Why you stop 'em?
Well, can't you see? There's a wagon those 3 came up to Ghost Mountain in 2 days ago. Steady, Thunder. Steady, boy.
Anybody in that there wagon, Red?
Not a soul. And the worst thing is their supplies are in that wagon. If they've wandered off any place, and I'm afraid they have, they'll either freeze or starve to death.
Yeah, if them there wolf critters don't get 'em first.
Everything all right, little Beaver?
We still see 'em tracks, Red Ryder.
All right, let's keep going. While we can still see their tracks, there's still hope.
Red, look out! Great jumping Jiminy. It's the last time that wolf will ever try to jump anybody.
Keep moving, fella. If you stop now, we'll all freeze.
Red Ryder seems something funny in the trail.
Where, son? What is it?
A big lump under snow.
Who? Rein up.
Oh, Sibyl, hold it.
Okay,
Well, Red, what is it?
It's what that wolf was after.
You mean a wolf no come after us?
No, this is one of the 3 men, son. The little old fella. Must have tripped and stumbled, and the snow covered him up.
Yeah, froze to death, eh, Red?
No, fortunately not. Almost, though. Come on, both of you, get off those ponies. Lend me a hand. A little brisk rubbing and some strong coffee may be able to pull the old gent around.
Gosh, it looks like Red got to poor old Baker with just seconds to spare. But doesn't that snow and wind make you scrunch up in your chair to keep warm? It does me, and it certainly reminds me of a good old wintertime custom for that extra energy a fella needs.
Pardon me, but did I hear mention of food?
Now, how did you guess? It's not very often I talk about it, you know.
How you exaggerate, Mr. Gilmore. But it's no exaggeration at all to say that practically everyone enjoys a late evening snack on chilly winter nights.
Aha, we're right back on the beam. And, milady, do you have a suggestion?
Well, one of our favorites at home is a cup of hot chocolate and a grilled cheese sandwich.
The sandwich made with Langendorf bread.
And what else? Langendorf bread makes it light and delectable, the way a grilled cheese sandwich should be.
How right you are. Langendorf bread is mixed with such skill, with such fine ingredients, that the texture is light and smooth and delicious.
Langendorf bread is highly flavorful as well. Best of all, it stays remarkably fresh, even to the very last slice.
That's because each loaf is baked in protective, moist heat. Yes, I share your enthusiasm for hot chocolate and a grilled cheese sandwich, but I must insist on Langendorf bread.
Well, everyone should insist on Langendorf bread for flavor, for texture, and for nutrition.
So next time you're at your grocer's, look for the name that means quality. Langendorf. Finer, fresher, tastier Langendorf bread. America's finest. Now it's back to the tingling climax of tonight's Red Ryder adventure. As we return to the story, we find the wind and the wolves howling, and in the little shack where Prouty and Dunham have taken refuge, the two men are staring at each other through calculating eyes.
Well, Prouty, anything behind that wall?
I think so. I think this is where that bullion's hid. Wait a minute. There we are. Dunham, it's here. Here's the gold.
It's too bad that Baker couldn't have lived to get his share of it. After all, it was him who took that crook in when he was dying and got the map and the story.
Yeah? Well, it was you and me who put up the money to buy the wagon.
Well, just the same, it's a shame that Baker couldn't have lived.
Well, keeping on talking about it ain't going to bring him back.
Yeah. A fine lot of good the gold's going to do either one of us if this storm don't quit.
Can't keep on forever.
Neither can we, without food. A couple of more days and we'll be starving. Starving just like them timber wolves.
You shut up. You have to keep talking about Baker and them wolves.
Well, I should have hung on to 'em.
You gonna quit that?
Stop yelling at me.
Yeah? Since when are you giving me orders?
I told you to quit yelling at me.
Hear that? The wolves are hungry. Maybe if they had something to eat, they'd go away and leave me alone.
What do you mean? Leave you alone?
You heard me. I mean, leave me alone. Me. Just me.
Trouble with you is you're going loco up here. You're worried from not eating. Now sit down.
No. Being hungry has just made me think a little clearer.
Quit staring at me like that, Prouty.
I was just thinking.
Yeah?
Yeah, just thinking. Thinking about you.
I know what you're thinking about. You're thinking you'd like that 40,000 alone.
It ain't gonna do Baker no good.
Who's talking about Baker now?
I am. Because Baker's dead. And I got a feeling you're soon gonna be. Yeah. Soon.
Prouty, you're no better than them wolves out there. Yeah, maybe you're a little worse.
Maybe. But I'm smart. Lot smarter, Dunham.
Well, you're going to have to torture me along with it. Squeeze the trigger.
I'm going to, Dunham. I'm going to squeeze the trigger. Then you know what? Then I'm going to pick you up and then I'm going to...
Buckskin, haul the old gentleman in here.
Here, Redhead, look out. He's got a gun.
Well, this is all about, but I'm going to find out.
I don't know how you got here, fella, but you sure saved my life.
And he saved mine, too, Dunham.
Baker! Oh, we thought that you were... Well, that something had happened to you.
And something's going to happen to all of us if somebody don't shut that there door. We're all going to be found up here frost to death.
Now, you're sure you know your way into the sheriff's office, Mr. Dunham?
You're doggone right. And I'm turning this polecat Prouty over to the sheriff for attempted murder.
Yeah, for 2 attempted murders. He hit me awful crack on the head and left me out there to die.
He's just about the most sneakinest bushwhacker I ever met.
Oh, don't forget to turn over that bullion to the sheriff.
Don't worry, Red. There's too much blood on that gold for me to want it. Baker and me will just take the reward.
You're blamed right. That's all we're taking. Get up there. Get to moving.
Well, so long, fellas.
So long.
All right, boys. Let's us be getting on home, huh?
You betcha. Get him up, Papoose. Get along. Get.
Come on, City Bill.
right, get started, boy. Let's get on home. Come on, thunder.
Listen again next Tuesday and every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday night at 7:30 for the Adventures of Red Ryder. For a breakfast time menu that's really complete, serve toasted Langendorf bread, a great family treat. Yes, for really delicious toast, smart homemakers prefer Langendorf bread. Finer, fresher, tastier Langendorf bread. America's finest. Now, till next Tuesday, this is Art Gilmore saying goodnight for the bakers of Langendorf bread. This is the Mutual Don Lee Broadcasting System.
KHJ, Los Angeles.
You've just listened to The Adventures of Red Ryder, titled $40,000 in Gold, originally aired on December 28, 1946. And that wraps up hour number 1, but there is still a lot more ahead, as Classic Radio Rewind returns with The Mysterious Traveler and The Danny Kaye Show in hour number 2, right after these words of encouragement, so to speak. Welcome back to Classic Radio Rewind. I'm Barry Slinker, and moving ahead with hour number 2 is The Mysterious Traveler, titled Death at 50 Fathoms, which originally aired on April 18, 1950. In this episode, 2 archaeologists discover a century-old wagon train, sealed in a cave, and encounter mysterious and terrifying events as they realize the descendants of the wagon train are still living in the cave. Here comes the train now as we climb aboard with The Mysterious Traveler.
The Mutual Broadcasting System presents The Mysterious Traveler, written, produced, and directed by Robert A. Arthur and David Cogan. And presenting tonight 2 of radio's foremost personalities, Frank Behrens and Roger DeCoven, in Death at 50 Fathoms.
This is the Mysterious Traveler, inviting you to join me on another journey into the realm of the strange and the terrifying. I hope you will enjoy the trip, that it will thrill you a little and chill you a little. So settle back, get a good grip on your nerves, and be comfortable if you can. For tonight, we're going to venture into the dangerous depths of the Atlantic with a group of desperate men caught in a strange dilemma. It's a story I call Death at 50 Fathoms. I suppose you've been reading the newspapers these last few weeks. You saw those headlines: Mystery Sub sighted off Pacific coast, and Traitor vanishes as Mystery Sub is sighted, and all the others. Well, Joe Briggs read them too, as well as heard the story one evening when he dropped into the corner bar near the radio repair shop he owned.
Total damage caused by the fire was close to $1 million.
Hi, Joe. What'll it be?
Give
me a glass of bock beer. Okay, 1 bock coming up.
American destroyer.
Hey, what's that news commentator saying about a mystery sub? Let me listen to that.
Official comment has come from the Navy Department, except the statement, "We are investigating." One rumor insists that the appearance of the mystery sub is connected with former German dictator Adolf Hitler. According to unidentified sources, Hitler is hiding somewhere in South America and being supplied by submarine. However, official circles regard this story as being fantastic. This summary of the last-minute news has been brought to you by
Mystery submarines, Hitler hiding in South America. What'll they think of next?
Yeah, it's screwy, all right. But I could tell you a story that's even screwier.
Huh?
I know what happened to Hitler and where he is now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I thought the Russians found his body when they captured Berlin.
Well, maybe they found a body, but it wasn't his.
Whose was it?
A double. Hitler did try to get away by submarine, see? And no, you wouldn't believe it if I told you.
Try me and see.
Okay. Only, I never told it before, you see. Not even to my buddies when I was in the Navy. Why should I be called nuts and sent up for observation? So, don't believe me. Just call it, a story. And you can stand me a beer when I've finished, eh?
All right, Joe. It's just a story.
Check. Well, it began the night after the war in Europe ended. I was in the Navy then. I was a radio operator on board the destroyer Spindrift. It was late at night, and I was half asleep in the radio room, the receiver over my ears, when I heard it. A voice that seemed to come whispering out of no place.
Hello. Can you hear me? Can anybody hear me? Please. If you can hear me.
Voice faded out again. It was a German voice, talking English good. I turned the controls, and it came back, stronger.
Hello. This is Oberleutnant Ryder of the undersea boat Wolf. Listen to me. Anybody who may be picking up this message, please listen. Nobody can help us. But it makes it easier to talk. Easier to face what's coming. Easier to face death. Yes, death. We are doomed, and we know it. And yet only yesterday we thought all danger was past. Yes, just yesterday afternoon, as we were cruising on the surface, recharging our batteries, we thought our mission was as good as accomplished. Captain Metz was on the bridge with our very special passenger, who called himself Schmidt. So, of course, we all knew who he was.
A beautiful day, Captain. Particularly gratifying after our long submersion.
Yes, Your Excellency. Pardon me, Herr Schmidt.
You must not take the slightest risk as long as I am aboard, Captain Metz. We have lost, but I shall yet win. You hear? I shall win.
Oh, it would be disloyal of me to believe anything else, Herr Schmidt.
In South America, I will make my plan. The world will think me dead. Instead, I will be hidden, where I can direct our rebirth.
Quite so, Your Excellency. Pardon me, the lookout has sighted something. Ach, yeah, there's a lifeboat drifting 3 points off our starboard bow.
Pitching and tossing on the gray waves of the Atlantic ahead of us was a lifeboat, crowded with gaunt-faced men who watched with hostile eyes as we came alongside. A dozen yards away, Captain Metz ordered the engine stopped, and then, as our illustrious passenger looked on with his cloak concealing his face, Captain Metz questioned the men in the lifeboat.
You in the lifeboat. Who's in charge?
I am, blast your eyes.
What's your name? What ship? What cargo did you carry? What port were you cleared for?
Captain Walter McCaffrey of the Melton. We were a relief ship carrying food and medical supplies when one of your murdering dogs torpedoed us.
That's enough, Captain Jensen. You may pull away now. The nearest land is 300 miles due west of you.
Aye, we'll pull away and glad to get out of the same part of the ocean with you. Oil, men! Let's get where we can breathe air not contaminated by these scum.
And then, just as the lifeboat started to pull away, the wind whipped aside our passenger's cloak, and in the lifeboat, Captain Mackenzie, a burly giant of a man, recognized him.
Men, stop! Look! There on the conning tower. You see that slinking rat trying to hide his face? Do you know who that is? Hey, take a good look at him. It's the master murderer himself. The arch-devil who really gave the order to send our comrades to the bottom. Hey, look at him there, with his toothbrush mustache, trying to hide from us.
I fear you have been recognized, Herr Schmidt.
Stop them. They must die, all of them. Turn your guns on them.
That is against international law, Herr Schmidt.
I order you to destroy that boat, Captain. No one can be allowed to live to report having seen me.
Very well. Forward gun. Ready to fire.
Forward gun, ready to fire.
Give them 2 rounds. Forward gun. Fire.
Forward gun, fire! You murdering dog. So you're going to slaughter us too, are you? You there in the conning tower. Listen to me. Every one of us will be waiting for you when your time comes. All of us that your hounds and jackals have murdered will be waiting for you. Down here in the dark waters, we'll be waiting for you. And if you ever come down among us, we'll get you. Remember that. We'll be waiting for you.
Fire!
They are gone.
Yeah, and direct hit. There will be no eyewitness to tell of seeing you aboard a submarine in these waters, Herr Schmidt.
The world must never guess I have left Germany. The whole future of the fatherland depends. What is that? That sound?
Bombers, patrol bombers coming this way. Get below at once. We're going down.
We made a crash dive and fled into the concealing depths of the ocean. A few bombs exploded, but far away, the patrol planes were too late. Crisply, Captain Metz gave the necessary orders while our illustrious passenger looked on, his face pale.
What's our depth, Müller?
75 feet, sir.
Good. We were too fast for them.
The bombs. They are coming closer.
Oh, they've lost us. They're forming at random now. Yes, we are safely away. The depth, Müller?
90 feet, sir.
90 is enough. Level her.
Level her, sir.
We'll set our course at 180. Level her, I said. We're still diving.
The leveling planes, they won't respond, sir. What? Either they're jammed or the operating motors are broken down.
We are damaged. The bombs have damaged us.
Nonsense. There wasn't a bomb close enough to break an egg. Müller, our depth.
120 feet, sir.
Lieutenant Heiner, order half speed ahead.
Half speed ahead.
Shift to hand operation of the diving plane.
Hand operation of the diving plane, sir.
Now, level her.
Level her, sir.
Well, what's the matter?
Captain, the operating beam won't turn.
It won't turn?
The planes must be jammed, sir. They're still diving.
Captain Metz, I demand that you rise to the surface. There is something wrong, and my safety must not be in danger.
Silence! I am captain of this vessel, and I'm giving the orders. All right. While leveling planes are jammed, we'll surface and clear them. Müller, depth.
150 feet, sir.
Stop the engine.
Stop the engine.
Blow the forward ballast tank.
Blow the forward ballast tank.
Our bow is beginning to come up, sir. We are leveling off.
Hold her as she is.
Hold her as she is.
Müller, how fast are we going up?
We are not rising at all, sir.
What? Not rising? We must be.
We are still diving. 20 feet a minute.
According to the gauges, we are light, not heavy. We can't still be diving.
Captain, I order you to take me to the surface immediately. Do you hear?
I am just as interested as you in reaching the surface, Herr Schmidt. Blow the main ballast tank.
Blow the main ballast tank.
For an hour, we struggled to reach the surface, to no avail. We blew all our ballast tanks until we should have shot up like a cork. And still we continued settling toward the bottom. It was unreal, unbelievable, impossible. The crew stared at each other, white-faced, and dared not utter their fears aloud. Our illustrious passenger raved and ranted at Captain Metz, screeching about his safety until Metz ordered him to his cabin. White-faced, his beady black eyes wide with terror, Herr Schmidt left the control room. We continued trying to raise the Untersee boat, Wolf, to the surface.
Lieutenant Ryder, what depth does the chart show?
300 feet with a gravel bottom, sir. But there's a fault in the ocean bed just east of our position. A crevasse 1,000 feet deep.
We are safely beyond it. Miller, our depth.
200 feet, sir. And we are going down 10 feet a minute.
But our tanks are empty. We should be going up.
Nevertheless, we are going down. And as long as we are, we will bottom and surface for repair.
If we can.
Who said that? Who spoke there, Lieutenant?
I don't know, sir.
Miller?
Not I, sir.
Fire!
Nein, sir.
Someone is lying. When I find him, he'll go into iron. Miller, our depth.
120 feet. It's almost as if...
As if what?
Nothing, sir.
Go on, as if what?
Excuse me, sir. I was going to say, as if something was pulling us down.
Aha. But you thought better of saying it.
Yes, sir.
See that you continue to think better of such remarks. The same applies to everyone on board. Lieutenant Ryder.
Yes, sir.
We will bottom in 7 minutes. Prepare to make an inspection of the ship when we do. Well, Lieutenant?
I have finished the inspection, sir.
Your report?
Everything is in perfect order, sir. There are no leaks. The batteries are fully charged. All motors in working order. All pumps operating.
Then, obviously, there is no reason we should not surface when we choose to do so.
No, sir.
Miller, what word of the destroyer?
I have heard no propeller sound for 2 hours, sir.
Then we will surface. Blow the auxiliary tanks.
Blow the auxiliary tank, sir. All main and auxiliary tanks empty, sir.
All tanks empty. Captain Metz, we have blown all our tanks and we have not risen 1 inch.
I am aware of it, Lieutenant Ryder. Do you take me for an imbecile?
No, sir. It's just that it's impossible.
Obviously, we are stuck on a mud bottom.
But the bottom here is gravel. The chart says so.
The chart is wrong. I say it's mud, you hear?
Yes, sir. Mud.
And so we will have to use the motors to pull ourselves free. Signal full speed ahead.
Yes, sir. Full speed ahead. We're not moving.
What is it? Why have the fools cut out the motor?
Excuse me, sir. The engine room is reporting.
I suppose the idiots have burned out the motor.
No, sir. They say the propeller is fouled.
How can it be fouled? It's impossible for it to become fouled on this bottom.
Yes, sir. They say it's not entirely fouled. It will turn, but only very slowly. As if...
As if what?
They say it turns as if a lot of hands were holding it to keep it from revolving.
The fools, the imbeciles. When we get back to our base, I'll court-martial every man aboard. We've got entangled with a little seaweed, that's all. We may be able to reverse the propeller and free it. Full speed astern, Lieutenant Ryder.
Full speed astern.
Well, now what?
The engine room reports the propeller still foul, sir. It turns, but as if something was holding it back.
And to think that I, Ludwig von Metz, thought I had the finest submarine crew in the world. A pack of mewling infants.
Captain Metz! Metz!
Ah, Herr Schmidt. I trust you've not been worried. Everything is quite under control.
Captain Metz, in my cabin I have been hearing sounds.
Sounds, Your Excellency. What sound?
From outside the submarine. Scratching sounds, tappings on the hull. They go on and on and on. They sound, Capitan. They sound like someone trying to get into the submarine. After me.
Silence! Your Excellency, you have heard nothing except pebbles being swept against our hull by the current, that is all.
I tell you, it sounds like hands rapping and tapping on our hull, trying to get in. Capitan, surface at once, do you hear? I order you to surface at once.
I am about to do so. Now, with all due respect, may I suggest you return to your cabin? Your presence here may impede our efforts.
Very well. But see that you take me to the surface at once.
Have no fears. Lieutenant Ryder, perhaps you will assist Herr Schmidt to his cabin.
Yes, sir. Certainly. If I may hold the door for your Excellency.
Captain Metz.
Well, what is it?
Captain, we hear them too. Sounds coming from outside our hull.
I hear no sound.
Excuse me, Captain. I can hear them now quite plainly on my detector phones. They do sound like the rustling and scraping of a lot of men clambering over our hull and...
Yeah. Perhaps that will bring you to your senses. Listen to me, all of you! We are temporarily stuck in the mud. A current is sweeping pebbles against us. You're all acting like children who think they see a ghost in a graveyard. We're going to be on the surface in an hour. You have my word for it. To break free from the mud, I'm going to fill the bow tanks, then blow them and fill the stern tanks. We'll rock the ship loose. You understand? Then flood the forward ballast tank.
Flood the forward ballast tank, sir.
Captain Metz.
Yeah, Herr Lieutenant.
The pumps are operating again. The failure was caused by Seaman Hans Jäger.
Jäger? How?
He went off his head and grabbed the pole of the main switch. The short circuit blew out the fuses and electrocuted him.
How have the others reacted?
Badly, sir. They are very nervous.
Nervous, are they? I will give them something to be nervous about.
That scraping and scratching outside our hull, it's upset the crew badly, sir. I know it's stopped now, but the men say it's just because they are planning something else.
They? Who do you mean, they?
The crew says that there are hundreds of men in the water outside trying to get in at us. Dead men, sir.
Lieutenant Ryder, do you wish to be placed in irons?
No, sir. I'm just trying to explain the crew's state of mind. In spite of all our efforts, we are still on the bottom, and the men are getting jumpy, sir.
I'll teach them a lesson they'll not forget. But of course, they're taking their cue from our illustrious passenger. If he hadn't come out here with his ravings and rantings... never mind that. He's quiet now. I gave him whiskey with a sedative in it.
If I may make a suggestion, sir.
Well, what is it?
There is one thing that we have not tried. We have to try it. Discharge our torpedoes.
Discharge our torpedoes?
We must. We have 10 torpedoes aboard, each weighing 2,500 pounds. That's 25,000 pounds of dead weight. Get rid of that, and we have to rise. We have to.
I see you are beginning to share the hysteria of the crew. However, I accept your suggestion. Order the discharging of the torpedoes to begin at once.
Yes, sir. At once. We began discharging our torpedoes. 2, 3, 4, and then the Wolf moved. It jolted and moved, but not upward toward the surface. To my horror, as I watched the gauges, we began to move downward. 50 feet, 60 feet. We slid ever deeper into the ocean's depths, as if down a steep slope on the bottom. After we had fired 6 torpedoes, we were actually 100 feet deeper than we had been. And then the discharge of torpedoes stopped. And I went forward to find out what was wrong.
It's no use, I tell you. It is no use.
We're going down, not up. Down.
What's going on here? Why haven't the rest of the torpedoes been discharged?
You know what is going on, Lieutenant. We have fired 6 torpedoes from that ship. We have just sunk deeper.
That is right. deeper, always deeper. Our plates won't stand it. We'll be crushed, drowned like rats in a trap.
Maya, be quiet.
Why should I be quiet? We all know our tanks are empty. We should have been on the surface long ago. We're being held down by 1,000 dead men, crawling all over us, scratching at our plates, trying to get in. They've come from all over the 7 seas just to hold us down, just to see we don't get away. Listen to them. You can hear them now. Listen.
Maya, come to your senses. It's only our plates groaning under the pressure.
Hey, listen. You know better. We all know better. Who dragged us down here to the bottom? Whose hands are keeping our propellers from turning? Whose bodies jammed our diving planes? Whose weight is keeping us on the bottom? The dead.
I order you to be silent.
It's too late for orders. There's only one way we can escape. Give them the dead outside the man they want. They want our passenger, the one who calls himself Herr Schmidt. We all know who he is, and so do they. Oh, and they've come to get him.
You are under arrest. Grab him, you men.
Hey, listen, all of you. Let us go get this Herr Schmidt, put him in the torpedo tube, and send him out to the dead outside. Let them have him. Then they let us go free. It is our only hope.
Fire!
Captain Metz.
I heard your interesting little speech just now. And this is my answer.
Hi, Captain Knight.
Does anyone else want the same medicine? Then to your stations. Lieutenant, continue discharging torpedoes.
That was many hours ago. We discharged all our torpedoes. And we are still on the bottom. Every few minutes, we slip a little deeper down a slope that is bringing us ever closer to the 1,000-foot chasm in the ocean bed. The crew truly believes that we are being dragged toward it by thousands of dead men who have gathered outside, drawn here by their hatred for our passenger, a hatred so great even death cannot quench it. Perhaps they are right. Certainly Herr Schmidt believes it himself. He is in the next cabin. Captain Metz has locked him in. Perhaps if I hold this microphone close to the bulkhead, you can hear him.
Captain Metz, do something. I order you to do something. They're outside. They're clawing at the hull to get at me. Captain, save me. I order you to. You can't let me die, Captain. Captain Metz.
That is enough. He makes an unlovely spectacle, our illustrious passenger, as death approaches. Though no one can save us, there is comfort in knowing that somewhere, some human ear is hearing me. Another lurch, then. We must be on the very edge of the crevasse. It is truly as if many hands were remorselessly pulling us towards our doom. The hands of the dead. It is a fantastic thought. And yet, when one is hated as our passenger is hated, by hundreds of millions of the living and tens of millions of the slain, who can tell? There is also the curse Captain Mackenzie in the lifeboat uttered just before he died. Just a moment ago, a sharp tapping came against our hull, as if someone was tapping against it with a rock. Listen. That tapping is in international code. It's a message from outside. A message from someone outside the submarine at a depth of 400 feet. And no living man could be sending it. What does it say? I will tell you. Another lurch. And now, we're sinking fast. We are going down into the great crevasse. 450 feet. 500 feet. In a moment, this submarine will crumple like a child's toy. But first, the message. It says, "We are waiting for you, Adolf Hitler. We are waiting for you, Adolf Hitler." That's the message we are receiving 500 feet deep in the ocean. And now, our plates are cracking. We're done for!
the mysterious traveler again. Was Joe Briggs just spinning a sailor's yarn? Well, he no longer insists it's true. He just asks us to consider it a story and nothing more. But I wonder, after all, Hitler did disappear, and it's logical that he might have tried to get away by submarine, so... Oh, that brings me to my story for next week about another individual who suffered punishment. I call it, I Died Last Night. It's about a man who woke up to find out that he was dead and that nobody would... Oh, but you have to get off here. I'm sorry. But I'm sure we'll meet again. I take this same train every week at this same time.
You have just heard The Mysterious Traveler, which is played by Maurice Tarplin. In the cast were Frank Behrens, Roger De Koven, Robert Dryden, and Ronald Dawson. Original music is composed and played by Al Finelli. This is Bob Emmerich speaking. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
That was The Mysterious Traveler, titled Death at 50 Fathoms, originally aired on April 18th, 1950. And to wrap up this week's podcast, we have The Danny Kaye Show, titled Flying to Washington, D.C., originally aired on January 27th, 1945. This episode features a special guest, Eve Arden from Our Miss Brooks. As the pendulum swings to the other end of the spectrum of old-time radio entertainment, let's enjoy a few laughs with The Danny Kaye Show with guest Eve Arden.
Pabst Blue Ribbon presents The Danny Kaye Show. Yes, neighbors, this is the Danny Kaye Show with Eve Arden, Lionel Stander, yours truly, Ken Niles, and the outstanding music of America's top band, Harry James and his music makers. For your entertainment, Pabst Blue Ribbon 33 Fine Brews blended into one great beer presents 33 fine talents blended into one great comedian, Danny Kaye. At the moment, we find our hero in his hotel room, splashing and singing in his bathtub.
La donne mobile, la donne mobile, la vita hai, e di pensier, Just a moment, please. Pensier!
Now, who is it?
Peekaboo.
Oh, it's you, Lionel.
Woo!
Gosh, this water is cold.
Well, if it's so cold, why don't you turn the hot water on?
What, and kill the goldfish?
But Danny, why do you keep your goldfish in the bathtub?
Because I don't fit in the fishbowl. Oh, look at those goldfish, Lionel. Aren't they cute? What's the matter with the dog?
Yeah, they are cute.
Yeah, they're smart, too. Come on, you little devils. Whip your little tails around and wash the soap off Daddy.
Amazing.
Oh, nothing at all, Lionel, nothing at all. Now, come on, Goldies. Do a trick for your Uncle Lionel.
Well, I'll be darned. They're blowing soap bubbles.
Yes, well, I better hurry up and get dressed. I say a brisk rub down, a brush of the teeth, and... Oh, darn it.
Hey, Danny, what are you doing?
I squeezed too much toothpaste out, and now I'm having the darndest time pushing it back in the tube.
Yeah, I wonder why they make them tubes one way. Hey, Danny, where you got all your suits and stuff laid out? Are you going someplace?
Am I going someplace? I'm going to Washington, didn't you know?
I didn't even know you were elected.
I wasn't elected, Lionel. I'm flying to Washington today to entertain for the March of Dimes.
Yeah? I'll bet you'll have fun there, gee. I can just see it. The 9 of you out dining and dancing every night.
9? What 9?
Well, I read in the paper that there's 8 girls for every man in Washington. Boy, I wish I could go up with you.
I'm sorry, Lionel. Sorry, Lionel. Oh, that's fine. Maybe some other time, maybe.
Yeah, but by then the odds may be only 6 to 1. So you're flying to Washington?
Yep.
What's the matter, then?
Well, you know, I've never flown in a plane before.
Well, if you gotta fly, it's the best way.
Say, Lionel, would you do me a favor and help me on with this, please?
Oh, sure. Here, put your left arm in first.
Okay. Now, this goes round my left leg here, and that one round my right leg. Now, how do I look?
You look chick. Real chick.
Hey, would you help me out with my top coat now?
Okay. Hey, wait a minute, Danny.
What?
Don't you think you should wear your parachute over your top coat?
Oh, Danny, are you ready? Can I come in?
Oh, sure, Evie.
Oh, hello, Miss Arden.
Hello. Well, Danny, I see you're all dressed for the plane.
Yeah. How do I look?
Well, don't look now, but your ripcord is showing. Anyhow, why wear a parachute in a hotel?
Why wear a We're going down in the elevator, aren't we?
Oh, Danny Kaye, you're about the most jittery man I ever saw.
Well, I can't help it, Evie. It runs in the family.
What?
Sure. My father always had a fear of high altitudes. He'd get a nosebleed every time he stood on a thick carpet.
Gosh, was your father really like that?
Oh, yeah. He was afraid of water, too. He wouldn't even get into the bathtub unless there was a lifeguard sitting in the soap dish.
Gee, you must have had a big soap dish in your house.
No, Lionel, it was a small lifeguard.
Say, Danny, when you get to Washington, I'll bet you'll brush elbows with some dignified dignitaries and potential potentates.
You certainly will, Lionel.
Gee, suppose you met an earl or a duke. What would you say to him?
Oh, that's easy, Lionel. I just say, your lordship.
That's very good, Danny. And what would you say to his wife?
Your ladyship.
Mm-hmm. And how would you address an admiral?
Your flagship.
Sure. And the admiral's wife is your battleship.
Oh, no.
Oh, I was only kidding, Evie. I know how to act. You know, if I meet someone from the French embassy, I bow from the waist and say, Je le crois qu'on se joue de les mon clou, je dois un plaisir, je le vais plaire. Non.
That sounds good, but what does it mean?
I don't know.
Well, who cares anyway? Hey, Danny, what would you say if you met the Chinese ambassador?
Oh, the Chinese ambassador?
Yeah.
Molo, toi sala, main, lo, oh, lo, ni, oh, daim, lo.
If that means what it sounds like, I'm too young to listen. Oh, hello, Harry.
Hello, Eve. Say, Danny, what's that big package you've got out in the hall, all wrapped up in blue paper and pink ribbons?
Oh, that's a little gift I'm taking to somebody in Washington.
Little gift? It's huge. What is it, Danny?
Oh, it's that milking machine I bought last week. I'm going to present it to the Secretary of Agriculture.
Danny, the Secretary of Agriculture doesn't want a milking machine.
Look, Edie, let's leave that up to him, shall we?
Well, let me ask you one thing, Danny Kaye. Have you ever seen a cow in Washington?
No, and I've never seen one in Philadelphia. But I got milk in both places.
I think that's a very brilliant and thoughtful gift, Danny. Of course, the secretary may think you're a little nuts, but it's still very thoughtful.
Well, thank you.
A milking machine for the Secretary of Agriculture. It's too bad you haven't got an X-ray machine so you can take it to the Secretary of the Interior.
Well, that would be silly. But I think my gift is very appropriate. I even wrote a little verse to go with it. Would you like to hear it?
No.
No.
Let's try that again, shall we? Would you like to hear it?
No!
That's fine. I'll read it to you. Dear Secretary of Ag, if the milk supply doth lag, attach this machine and your cows will come clean. Why should you be left holding the bag?
Hey, that's fun, Danny. Let me try to make up one.
Go ahead.
Dear Sec of Ag, what's here in this bag ain't no Schiaparelli design, but any cow dressed in it will do her best in it, and she'll look simply bovine.
Say, that's not bad, but how about something like this? If your cow looks blue to you, won't say moo to you, and milking time makes her shudder, attach this machine. She'll be more than serene. And by Jove, she'll be utterly udder.
Oh, isn't that lovely? A hep cow with silk milk, dream cream, and utter butter. Look, Danny, you better get to the airport. You've got to pick up your tickets and everything.
Okay, Edie. Lionel, you take my overcoat, the milking machine, and my bag.
Okay, I got him. What's that?
Oh, I forgot to tell you. Keep the milking machine away from that cowhide bag.
Well, while Danny Kaye is on his way to the airport, Harry James and his music makers celebrate their 6th anniversary by playing their famous record version of the King Porter Stomp. Great, Harry. You know, I love that King Porter stomp. Say, King Porter, isn't that the fellow who wrote Night and Day?
No, Ken, that was Cole Porter.
Oh, that's right. Ah, Night and Day.
It's so romantic.
Yes, isn't it? And who do you think of night and day, Ken?
Well, it isn't really a who, Harry. It's a what.
A what? What's a what?
One of the pleasantest whats in the world. Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Ah, I see you're talking of the beer you love.
Oh, definitely, Harry. And why shouldn't I? Why, Pabst is as full of sparkling goodness as ripples in the moonlight. It's 33 brews as perfectly blended as the harmonies in a great love song.
33 brews that beat as one.
Yes, and I'm true blue to every brew. To Pabst golden color. To Pabst outstanding flavor.
Shh. Everybody will know your secret.
Well, I want them to know my secret. I want to share my love with the world. Pabst is grand. Pabst is perfect. Oh, Pabst.
Passengers for plane to Washington, gate number 3, please. Passengers for plane to Washington, gate number 3, please.
He must be a new man. You can understand everything he says.
Hey, Danny, that's your plane. You better get over to that ticket window and ask the girl for your reservation.
Gee, look at how long that line is.
Well, while you're waiting, Danny, I'll get your bags in the milking machine. See you in a couple of minutes.
Okay. Pardon me, is this the line where you wait for your reservation for the Washington plane?
Yes, it is.
Gee, I hope I don't have to wait long. Say, by the way, how long have you been waiting for your reservation?
What day is it?
Saturday, January 27th.
Monday will be 3 years.
3 years? Well, why didn't you try the train or the bus?
Oh, I prefer going by plane. It's quicker.
Oh, Mr. Jellison, here's your Esquire and a letter from your mother.
Thank you, postman.
Postman? Wait a minute. You mean you even get your mail here?
Oh, yes.
Oh, Mr. Jellison.
Yes, postman.
You'd better fill out a change of address card. You've moved up 2 places since Thursday.
Hey, Danny, I got your suitcases in the machine all taken care of. Didn't you get your ticket yet?
No, and the way it looks, Lionel, I may never get on that plane.
Oh, yes, you will. Somebody by the name of Stuyvesant who had a reservation can't go. He just got called back suddenly to his office.
How did you find that out?
I was eavesdripping.
Well, who is this Stuyvesant?
Oh, a big banker. Now, come on through this gate, Danny. Let's get you in on that plane.
Just a second. You can't come through this gate unless you got a reservation.
Oh, but you don't understand. Mr. Stuyvesant...
Oh, Mr. Stuyvesant, we've been waiting for you.
Oh, well, I was trying to tell you that...
Don't worry, don't worry. We had instructions to save your seat until you came. Right this way, Mr. Stuyvesant.
But coming, Mr. Stuyvesant?
Huh?
Right through this gate, Mr. Stuyvesant.
But, Lionel, I don't think I should take Mr. Stuyvesant's seat.
Oh, stop worrying. If the seat fits, wear it.
Which one of you gentlemen is Mr. Stuyvesant's?
Mr. Kaye is Mr. Stuyvesant.
What?
I said Mr. Stuyvesant's okay.
Is this Mr. Stuyvesant the banker?
Than whom none other.
Well, I'm from the Daily Herald, and we'd like to know if there's anything you'd care to say before you take off.
Yes.
What?
Goodbye.
Oh, but Mr. Stuyvesant, as one of our leading financial authorities, what is your opinion of the effect reconversion will have on the unearned increment of a soluble corporation that has no holding company?
Well,
Mr. Stuyvesant?
Yes?
Would you rather go by bus?
No, not at all. I'm very glad you asked me that question, young lady. Very glad. That very same question, which when put to prominent banking authorities, must not be confused with each other. We feel that the fluctuating currency, which, by the way, has exemplified the monetary values thereof, is not at all. However, we feel that the man in the street does, and we must not question it.
Well, You're so right, Mr. Stuyvesant. The man in the street will be glad to hear that.
Well, don't tell him just yet, because, well, as a matter of fact, we're just in the process of.
Of what?
Exactly. And you may quote me.
Oh, well, thank you, Mr. Stuyvesant. A pleasant trip, Mr. Stuyvesant.
Is there a man by the name of Stuyvesant out there? Oh, sure. That's Mr. Stuyvesant getting his picture took. Say, when you see him, tell him I went to get his package.
Yes, I'll do that little thing. Say, Mr. Stuyvesant? Oh, sorry, old chap. No more interviews. I must get on the plane.
That's what you think.
What do you mean?
I mean I have a warrant for your arrest, me fine check raiser.
Check raiser?
Sure, and the law has caught up with you, Mr. G. Wellington Stuyvesant, alias Barney the banker, alias Tuffy the Thug.
Tuffy the Thug? Officer, you've made a horrible mistake.
Oh, no, sonny boy, you have. Now, will you come quietly where I have to put the cuffs on you?
The cuffs? What is this? Tuffy the Thug cuffs, alias Stuyvesant? Look, I'm not Stuyvesant. I'm Danny Kaye.
Oh, Danny Kaye, is it? My boy, you're getting in deeper and deeper.
But, officer, now just...
Stuyvesant, here's your package.
Lionel, stop this business. I'm in trouble. Tell this man who I really am.
Oh, sure. He's Mr. G. Wellington Stuyvesant, the financial typhoon.
Oh, no!
Well, here's your bag, Mr. Stuyvesant, and the machine.
Lionel, will you stop the clowning and get that infernal machine out of here?
Oh, an infernal machine, eh? Going up the airport.
No, officer. It's not what you think.
Oh, thank heavens I got here in the nick of time. Now, what is this machine? You saboteur, you?
Officer, I can't tell you what that machine is. You'd think I was silly.
Oh, so you won't talk, eh? Well, we make you talk. Walk this way, you low-down, sneaking spy. Now, listen, you. I've had enough of this stalling. I'm giving you plenty of time to talk. Now, I don't like to get rough, but you're forcing me into it. Will you stop snapping me suspenders?
Well, I can't help it. They fascinate me. Gee, pre-war elastic.
Stop that, will you?
Look here, you. Don't evade the issue. I want a confession.
Yes, trying to tell us that this here machine is for an innocent little thing like milking a cow.
Officer, look, I've told you 1,000 times that's all it is. You see, these little nozzles fit on the cow.
Don't tell me what they fit on. It's either a time bomb or a thing that makes poison gas.
Then again, it could be a booby trap. Why don't you ask me? Is this his or is this hand me booby?
That's no use, Sergeant Barnett. Start working on the other one for a while.
Okay. Hey, you. Who? Me? Yeah, you. Start talking.
What'll I talk about?
Come on now. Stop acting dumb.
Who's acting?
Now, wait a minute. This has gone far enough. You can't hold us here like this. I've got to get on that plane. Now, where's my bag?
We're not taking any chances on it exploding. It's soaking in that water tank over there.
Soaking in the tank? Oh, you can't do this to me. I'll take it to the chief. I'll take it to the mayor.
You better take it to the tailor. Your dress suit's in it.
Look, fellas, there's nothing in that bag but my clothes. Come on, I'll show you.
Wait a minute. Don't go near that tank. Look, there's bubbles coming out of that bag.
Bubbles?
Duck, everybody. It's going to blow up.
Oh, nothing's going to blow up. That's only my Alka-Seltzer.
I've had enough of this. Perry, take their prints and book them. You first, Goldilocks.
Now, wait a minute.
Now,
you just
here,
can't
just press your fingers on this ink pad. Come on, press them down there. That's it. Hey, Sarge, look. This guy ain't got no fingerprints.
Now, shall we try it with my gloves off? Look, I've got my license right here in my back pocket.
Look out, Sarge.
Oh, reaching for a gun, huh?
Don't be silly. I wasn't reaching for a gun.
Oh, you'd rather use a knife, eh? Cold steel don't make no knife.
I haven't got a gun. I haven't got a knife. Look at me. Do you think I'm the criminal type? Look at me.
Yeah, look at him. Just gaze upon the gentle features of that innocuous physiognomy, that harmless innocent... the most dangerous type, a baby-face killer.
A baby-face killer? Oh, look, I can't stand this anymore. I just can't stand this. I don't keep my license in a booby trap. I'm not a cold-blooded Alka-Seltzer. I'm not a milk-faced baby machine. I'm Danny Kaye. Danny Kaye.
Oh, so you're back to that Danny Kaye routine again. Why don't you be Bob Hope for a while?
Okay. This is Bob. Can't get out of the police station. They think I'm a saboteur. How am I going to get to Washington? Hope speaking.
What do you know, Sarge? Oh, we've both been acting like a couple of imbeciles. It's Bob Hope.
Mr. Hope, I'd recognize your voice any place. Always clown.
Yeah, always clown. Well, I guess we'll be running along now. And thanks for the memories. Coming, Mr. Colonna?
Coming, Gate. Let's emulate.
Hey, what's going on here? Eh?
Quiet, Niles.
Well, I was told to rush down here and identify you. What's the...
Quiet, Niles. It's all fine. Just fine. They know me now.
Sure, everybody knows Mr. Bob Hope.
Yes, Sir Bob... Are you kidding? He's Danny Kaye.
Oh, so it's Danny Kaye again, is it?
Yeah, and who are you? One of the Kaye gang?
Sure, we work together all the time.
Aha, now start talking and talk fast. Where have you been?
The radio station.
Oh, shortwaving to the enemy, eh?
No, I was just talking about 33 Brews.
Oh, there are 33 of you.
No.
32?
No, it was 33, I tell you. 33. Yes, 33 brews all blended into one great beer.
He's talking in code, Clary.
You better tell us the truth.
Oh, but I always tell the truth about Pabst Blue Ribbon. I tell you, it's full flavor blended.
Are you decoding this, Clary?
Yes, but it still comes out beer.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Order it with confidence, serve it with pride, for no matter where you go, there is no finer beer, no finer blend than Pabst Blue Ribbon. Pabst!
Stand back, Clary. This guy's going to explode.
Yeah, let's take the bags out of the tank and put him in it.
Oh, this is too much. I can't stand this, I tell you. Look, this is Ken Niles, and that's Lionel Stander, and I'm Danny Kaye.
Ah, a likely story.
I'm Danny Kaye, I tell you. What can I do? How can I prove it to you fellas? Look, I've got it.
Ah, he's cracking at last. You taking that down, Sarge?
Every word of it.
All right, keep talking.
Read it. He's with me. Milking machine. Got to go to Washington to go on the bed. The bed won't say that. The march of dimes is going on there. To get to the bottle. The bed don't say. Read it. The milking machine. You got to let me go now, Cleary, please. I'm Danny Kaye. I'm telling you. Read it. I'm Danny Kaye.
Oh, there's no mistake in that. You're Danny Kaye, all right, but I'm still not letting you go.
But, officer, look, I have to catch that plane for Washington.
Oh, you'll make it all right, and we'll give you a police escort, too, if you do one little thing for me.
What's that?
Can you sing your sweet old Irish tune, Me Fine Broth of a Boy?
Well, me fine broth of a policeman, that I can do and do. Well, anyway, here's the most beautiful Irish folk song I know. It's called The Story of Molly Malone. In Dublin's fair city, the girls are so pretty, 'twas there that I first met sweet Molly Malone. She drove her wheelbarrow through streets wide and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. She was a fishmonger, and faith 'tis no wonder her mother and father were fishmongers too. They drove their wheelbarrow through streets wide and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. She died of a fever, and no one could save her.
and that's all I know of sweet Molly Malone. Now her ghost drives her barrow through streets wide and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying and mussels, alive, alive, oh.
Passengers for plane to Washington, gate number 3, please. Passengers for plane to Washington, gate number 3, please.
Well, here I go. I've got my own ticket this time.
Hey, Danny, look, I got the machine back for you.
Oh, go away, Lionel, and take that infernal machine with you.
Infernal machine, just a minute there, bud. Oh, no!
Good night.
And don't forget, neighbors, next Saturday, another great Danny Kaye show with Eve Arden, Lionel Stander, Harry James and his music makers, and Danny Kaye. This program was directed by Dick Mack and was brought to you by the Pabst Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and Peoria, Illinois. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
That was The Danny Kaye Show, titled Flying to Washington, D.C., originally aired on January 27th, 1945. I'll be back with final thoughts in just a moment. Welcome back to Classic Radio Rewind, a final Valentine's Day programming note that beginning this Thursday, you can check out Old Time Radio USA's Double Valentine's Marathon. On February 13th, we present its pre-Valentine's Day Couples Marathon. Classic radio episodes from famous radio couples such as Burns and Allen, Fibber McGee and Molly, Mr. and Mrs. North, and many others. This marathon will lead us to the Valentine's Day Jack Benny Marathon. Celebrate Jack's 39th birthday with classic episodes from the Jack Benny program. But before we wrap up, we want to remind you that you can enjoy even more of these timeless classics on the WOTR Radio Network. Our network features 4 incredible stations: Old Time Radio USA, Suspense Radio USA, Crime Time Radio USA, and Nightmare Radio USA, each offering 24/7 access to the best in old-time radio entertainment. To tune in, simply visit our website at www.wotrradionetwork.com or download our mobile app from your favorite or appropriate app store. You can also catch us on popular streaming platforms like TuneIn.com, on Alexa Skills, Radio.com, and more. Just search for the WOTR Radio Network and start listening to the classics anytime, anywhere. Thank you for joining us on this nostalgic journey through classic radio. I hope you enjoyed these timeless episodes as much as I did. Be sure to tune in for more adventures on the next episode of our Classic Radio Rewind podcast. Until then, for Classic Radio Rewind and the WOTR Radio Network, this is Barry Slinker saying goodbye for now.
Classic Radio Rewind is a production of the WOTR Radio Network. For more Classic Radio Rewind, and to listen to any of the WOTR Radio Network stations, go to www.wotrradionetwork.com.